Hey, this is CJ.
And I'm Reimy.
And you're listening to Jam Chats
on BYU Radio. Today in the studio, Cherie Call.
I've been walking too long in somebody else's shoes. So much love inside. So we can be mathematicians and concert musicians. Don't have to change the world, you might do it anyway.
Cherie Call is a singer-songwriter from Mesa, Arizona, with a career full of heartfelt storytelling.
Her songwriting prowess has received some national attention, winning the John Lennon Songwriting Contest in the children's category in 2016.
Today we'll chat about her journey as both a mom and a songwriter, and how music helps us work through our struggles.
Cherie Call is playing live here on Jam Chats.
You don't have to change the world, you might do it anyway.
Welcome to Jam Chats, Cherie.
Thanks, Reimy. It's great to be here.
What do you think of the name Jam Chats?
It sounds like a lot of fun.
Reimy asks everybody that question.
I do. That's my icebreaker question at the very beginning of the show.
My icebreaker question is, where were you from? Where are you from?
I grew up in Mesa, Arizona.
Oh, okay. Down in the valley, as they say.
What was your childhood like?
It was great. So down in Arizona, the summers are really hot. Our backyard neighbors were dear friends of ours, and so my brother and I would wake up in the morning and just climb over the fence and knock on their back door and go swimming. And it's in true Generation X style. We would just leave all day and come back at night. I don't know if my parents knew exactly where we were.
That's exactly my childhood. That's exactly my childhood.
We had a pretty safe neighborhood and we'd just roam the neighborhood and stuff. Yeah. And I think if my parents really thought that we were in danger, it wouldn't have been quite like that. My sister, I was a lot younger than her, but she would teach me songs because she thought it was fun to hear me sing songs. And there's that Debbie Boone song, You Light Up My Life. I was just a little girl and she taught me how to sing that song, and I would just sing it for everybody everywhere I went. And I would sing for different little events in neighborhood groups. But my brother got this electric guitar that used to belong to my uncle who died shortly after the Vietnam War. I would sit on his bed in his room and listen to him play REO Speedwagon solos and Van Halen solos and Survivor. And I thought it was so cool, but I also thought that only boys played guitars. Only boys could play guitars. But it wasn't until I got to college. That's kind of when all the girl guitar players started to get really big in the 90s, you know. I started listening a lot to the Indigo Girls and Mary Chapin Carpenter and all those girl country artists and all of these female artists that were so guitar, acoustic guitar oriented. And I wanted to do it. And so I took just that basic folk guitar class and learned 3 chords, and I started instantly writing lots of songs.
I was going to say, you do have some of that Indigo Girl influence. I can hear that in you. So it must have had a big impact.
A lot, yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Well, this is wonderful. We need to get into a song.
Let's do it.
So, Cherie, on Jam Chats, we listen to songs off artists' records and then we play live. Do you have something off a record that we could listen to?
Okay, so we're going to fast forward through time a little bit for this, but we're going to listen to a song called Walk You Through the Night. And this is a song that I wrote just after I had my first child. When I was waiting for her to be born, I didn't know if I would know how to be a good mom or what to do, or if I was going to be able to figure it out. And I don't know, I kind of was hoping that maybe there would be like a little envelope of pills that would come in the mail that would have the eyes in the back of your head and the sixth sense and all the things that a mom is supposed to have. But none of those things came. It was just maybe some formula and diaper samples. And I was kind of on my own. But when I looked at that baby, when they put her in my arms, I just felt like I had a superpower of love, of how much I loved that baby. And Joe and I, my husband, would just walk with her around the block sometimes to get her to fall asleep when we first brought her home. And I would walk by myself, and these are just thoughts that I had in my mind when I walked with her as a tiny baby and what her life would be like.
Well, let's listen to it. This is Walk You Through the Night off the album Grace, and this is Cherie Call live on Jam Chats.
I don't have eyes in the back of my head, And I don't wear bright red knee-high boots or a leotard with an S. And I only have 5 senses, the 6th one's never there. When I don't know why you're crying, and I just have to guess. I see you're having trouble sleeping, so am I. And I've been hoping I know how to raise you right. I can't cast a magic spell, but I can take you for a trip around the block. Rest your head now while I hold you tight, and I will walk you through the night. As we walk beneath the sparkling stars, your body's getting heavier, you're finally giving in, and my mind slips through the future to the troubles you could have. And I don't know how to fix them, I just have to guess. You are bound to have some nightmares, so am I. But you can count on me to hold you when you cry. And I can't take it all away, but I can tell you I've been down this road before. I can't promise that I'll always get it right, but I will walk you through the night. And if it's raining, I will drive you. And if it's late at night, I don't care what time you call. I may not be the best at very many things, but I believe I love you perfectly. Time goes by so relentlessly, and I hope that you outlive me. It's how it's meant to be. And I believe in heaven, but there are still some things that I just can't fully fathom. I just have to guess. God will grant my wish, I will wait for you beyond the veil just before you slip through. And as you softly close your eyes, I will sing my lullabies to you. And before you make your way into the light, I will walk you through the night.
Cherie, that was wonderful. I really, really enjoyed that.
Thank you.
Especially the bridge, the texture change. I really agree with a lot of the same feelings that you had.
Thank you. When I was writing this song, that last verse, I think I cried every day that I worked on that verse, because it talks about time goes by relentlessly, and I hope that you outlive me, because that's how it's meant to be. But it talks about how I'm still going to be waiting for you, and I'll walk you through the night when you cross over through the darkness. And now that my mother has passed, I think of her when I hear this song. I miss her, but I feel like she's still with me in a lot of ways. And that's what I hope as a mom that I can do forever, I guess. I mean, whether it's realistic or not, I think that's what I hope.
I think it's interesting that you wrote this song for your daughter.
Yeah.
But now you feel your mom through it. So tell us about your feelings about that family connection.
From the time I moved away from home, I called both of my parents every Sunday. We've just always been really close. And so that was really kind of the most jarring thing. In January of 2025, my mother passed away. And then March, just 2 months later, my father passed away. The Sundays have been the hardest things, because I'm so used to talking to them. And so sometimes when I am driving in my car alone on a long drive, I'll just talk to them anyway, you know? And I imagine that they can hear me. I hope they can. But I guess that's what I think about sometimes at the end of that song. I believe that they're still there, that they still reach out to me. Yeah.
Even whether or not the song is spiritual, you always have kind of these spiritual values with a lot of your songwriting. Can you tell us a little bit more about why spirituality and, thinking about life after death is so important to you as a songwriter?
I have a handful of songs that talk about life after death, and I don't know why that has been. I haven't really set out to really focus on that a lot. I don't know. I guess maybe things have happened in my life that have made me write songs about it. I write songs about the things that are going on in my life or the things that I see around me, and for whatever reason, I guess that's what has come up. So
Cherie, you mentioned that you've tried to write some songs about your kids and you've succeeded. Would you want to play one of those songs for us?
Yeah, I would love to.
What do you got for us?
So this song, it's called Guessing Game. And the way this song came into existence, actually, when everything was shut down during the pandemic, I got invited to be in a songwriting club where we had to submit a song every Wednesday night. Just email a new song that you write. You could miss 1 week, but if you missed more than 2 weeks, you would get kicked out. And there was like a waiting list of people to be in this group. And so surprisingly, I ended up writing dozens and dozens of songs during that time. And most of them are garbage, but this is one that actually I really love a lot. So this is a song called Guessing Game, and I wrote it about my kids. They're getting older and they're trying to figure out what they want to do with their life. And this is a message I hope they always remember from me. See the questions in your eyes. You wonder what the future holds. Well, honey, I don't have the answers. This is the only thing I know. That if you walked into an airport and stepped on any plane, it could land anywhere. You could make it amazing, whether it's Paris or Manhattan, or a little house just east of Main Street. Wonderful is what you're gonna be. And maybe everyone will know your name, or you'll live 100 happy years unknown in a small town. Things to come are just a guessing game. So follow your star, dream your dream, and remember, I believe in you. I hear you ask if it's okay, if right now you can't decide exactly what you want to be. But you can always change your mind. Whether you find a cure for cancer or make 1,000 quesadillas for your children, you could make it amazing, whether in Paris or Manhattan, or a little house just east of Main Street. Wonderful is what you're gonna be. Maybe everyone will know your name, or you'll live 100 happy years unknown in a small town. Things to come are just a guessing game. So follow your star, dream your dream, and remember, I believe in you. And if you ever wonder if you'll ever let me down by not living out a life I might have lived, remember it's impossible to ever lose my love. And this world is meant to have what only you can give. Someday everyone will know your name, or you'll live 100 happy years unknown in a small town. Things to come are just a guessing game. So follow your star, dream your dream, and remember, I believe in you.
Whoa, Cherie, that is hitting me hard right now. And I'll tell you why, because our kids are about the same age.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, they're just on that like borderline of what do they want to do? Who do they want? Where are they going to be in the next 5 years? And I don't know, as a parent, it's like a different kind of scary, you know?
Yeah, it really is.
I remember when they were little and I was scared for a different reason. Like, can I take care of this baby? Just like you said in your first song. Am I going to be able to provide the life that this baby needs? And then now it's like, I'm putting a lot of faith in like their decisions, you know?
Yeah. So we were at a family reunion and one of our nieces had a brand new baby, and I held him for a minute while she took care of some other things, and he had a blowout and he like threw up on me and like I was totally cool with all of that because I thought I can solve all of this baby's problems. I can give him food, I can clean him up in a bath, and he'll be great. Like, and I kind of thought to myself, I feel like my kids' problems are a lot harder to fix.
So much harder now. People always say like, "Oh, babies are so hard." Like,
and yet, you know, it is. Babies can be terrifying. I will admit that they can. But like in the moment, it just seemed so peaceful to me. Like, yeah, I'm fine with all of this. I can take care of all of this.
I know. It's funny. Whatever you're facing right now is the hardest thing that you've ever faced, you know. That was an awesome song. I loved it.
Thanks.
And thanks for playing that live. Cherie, this has been so much fun chatting with you so far. Let's hear another song off an album.
Okay, I would love for us to listen to a song called The Astronaut and the Mermaid.
Okay, now, is this about your kids?
No, well, okay. My friend Lindy Butler a few years ago approached me and asked if I would ever do a children's album of like children's music. And I've never wanted to do this, but she sent me this little clip of a song. It was a different one. And then, I don't know, my heart just said yes. We just decided to go ahead and do it. And it ended up being a super fun project. The album is called The Buddy System. And she lives in Hurricane, Utah. We don't live anywhere near each other. And so we wrote the songs long distance. We would send each other voice memos and we edited all the lyrics on a Google Doc. And she named the Google Doc an Astronaut Mermaid collaboration. And I was like, what? What's that? That sounds like a song. That sounds cool. And she just said, oh, I don't know. It just seemed like we live really far apart, like an astronaut and a mermaid would, you know, like
yeah, like up in the sky.
And we're not a lot alike. At the time, I think she had rainbow colored waist length hair and I'm a little bit more conventional.
So you're the astronaut. She's the mermaid.
I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. It depends on what context, I guess. But yeah, so I decided that we should write a song about it. And so I kind of took that idea and I thought about how would these two characters be friends. And at the time, my boy was just really little and he was trying to bring me into his world and I was too busy, but he wanted to show me the roly-poly bugs that are in the backyard that he made friends with. And then I started to think about how people could be friends even though they're not exactly the same. And that was a good thing to write about in 2016.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's kind of resonated with people. It started out as a kid's song, but it's really become so much more than that. So I love the song. And the cool thing about it is that it went on to win the John Lennon songwriting contest in the children's category in 2016. So that was pretty exciting.
Nice.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, let's hear that.
Yeah.
So lead us off, Cherie.
Okay, this is The Astronaut and the Mermaid from the album The Buddy System that I collaborated with Lindy Butler.
You're listening to Jam Chats on BYU Radio.
Once there was a mermaid swimming gracefully when a spaceship started sinking to the bottom of the sea. It landed in her garden, and she kind of felt annoyed. But the spaceman was just a boy. She hid behind some coral and watched him for a bit. He looked a little lost, then he found a place to sit. She swam and sat beside him, and she thought she saw him smile when she said maybe he could visit for a while. And she said maybe an astronaut and a mermaid could be good friends, even though we're not the same. We could save each other from the monsters and play each other's games if we learned each other's names. He said the ocean's not so different from outer space. I'm feeling kind of weightless in this underwater place. And your hair looks cool and crazy, and there are fish that look like stars. Tomorrow, maybe we could go to Mars. I'll bet you'd like to swim around in zero gravity, and the Martians won't be scary as long as you're with me. And we could chase the comets. I think it sounds like fun. And you could still be home for dinner when we're done. He said maybe an astronaut and a mermaid could be good friends, even though we're not the same. We could save each other from the monsters and play each other's games if we learned each other's names. The universe is wide, and it holds so much love inside. If you open up your eyes and see, those stars were made for you just as much as me. Maybe an astronaut and a mermaid could be good friends, even though we're not the same. We could save each other from the monsters and play each other's games. Tell me, what's your name?
Cherie, that's really cute. That's really
thanks.
fun.
So sweet. Cherie, I don't know if you thought about this in production, and maybe you did, but as I was listening to that song for the very first time, those little piano notes, those electric pianos, to me, they sound kind of like it could be some sort of submarine, kind of underwater submarine sound. And then that ambient guitar, to me, feels like outer space.
Yeah, we wanted to really make it so that it could sound like both. So like the drum sounds almost kind of sound like, I don't know, Walking on the Moon, or, you know, something kind of those sounds. Or like we even called the guitar, like the pad guitar sound kind of things, whale sounds and things like that.
Yeah.
So we did kind of want to make it a little bit spooky, underwater and outer space kind of thing.
So we've been talking about your live show and all of the different projects you've been involved in, Cherie. Tell us what success means to you in this music industry. And do you feel like you've achieved the success that you set out to achieve?
Okay, so I feel like you just never know the path that your life is going to take. You make the best plans of what you think you're going to do. I thought that I could make all of my huge dreams of winning Grammys and everything else come true, and also have my kids and everything else. And I don't know, life happens, you know, and I went through this period of time where my husband was constantly on the road. He was traveling a lot for his work. He has an AV company, and a lot of people hired him for conventions or bands and things like that. He was gone a lot, and we either had tiny babies or kids in school. I couldn't really go on the road with him. And I had this time where I was kind of struggling because I still wanted to write songs. I still wanted to go and do all of it. And it wasn't really a good season for that. So I wrote the songs anyway. And I started to realize that some of the unhappiness that I was going through, I kind of realized that I needed to start over and try to remember why I ever wanted to do music in the first place. And while some of it was about other people, I love to show my songs to other people. You want people to hear your songs. You want to connect with people. The main point of it was never to make money or be famous. It was because I loved music. There are so many easier ways to make money. Why would you do it if you didn't love it? And so I started to try to go back and do the things that I remembered that helped me to feel like I loved it. Even though I had recorded, I think at the time, 7 or 8 albums, I went to some open mics so that I could see people like starting over from the beginning. And I played at those and kind of looked around and tried to explore in my heart, like what was it that I loved in the first place? And I started to realize that success you can have at any moment if you consider success to be joy. I think I mentioned before, I teach college students songwriting. At the end of the semester, my very last class is this class about how success equals joy. I know they're not listening to me because they still believe that they are going to be a mega billionaire superstar someday.
Right.
And some of them might. There were some really good songwriters in there. But the likelihood is you're probably going to have a really happy life of making music. You'll probably make recordings and maybe your life will take a totally different turn. But if you never let go of the joy, then you don't have to say that you failed. Like, it's not what it is. If you have joy, then that is success. When I think about how my life is different than what I originally pictured, I really can't say that it's worse or that I failed. I have a really happy life that I love a lot. And I am constantly in situations where I'm able to play and share music with people. And yeah, I still would really love to make millions of dollars. I don't know if that will ever happen. And I tell my students, I ask them to write down, like, what's the measuring stick for you that you would consider to be success? My favorite answer was when I have backup dancers. When I will be a success.
So good.
And I tell them, none of these things are evil. None of these things are bad. Go for all of those. No one's going to believe in you as much as you believe in yourself. You have to believe that all those things are going to happen, and you need to go for it. Full blast. But don't lose the whole point of it all, which is the joy. For me, I feel like I can still be something that I call a success because I never would have wanted to have a life that I didn't share with people. Mm-hmm. And in my house, everybody has their own dream and we're all helping each other with it. You're never going to be the only person who has a dream. And it's worth it to me to build all of those dreams with all the people in my house. For other people, there's no way that would work. You can't be that well-rounded. You have to have a laser focus. The most huge superstar successful people, a lot of times they are alone, and maybe that works for them, but it didn't work for me. So for me, success is what I have. So
I love what you said about joy there, because so many people, when you say, hey, I'm a songwriter or I'm a singer or whatever, they instantly say, well, you should be on American Idol or you know what, if you could just get signed, then you've made it or whatever. And we talked a little bit about this with Matt Harding on a different episode of Jam Chats. And he talked a lot about this too, that music has made his life joyful, so I just love that. I think there's so many different measures of success.
I think it's a really mature approach to music because I think when you're young, you're bright-eyed, you're so excited to go forth. Not even in music, in our careers, we have all these beautiful dreams. And then life sets in and life takes us in different directions. And I think it's wonderful that you've been able to find that joy in your career, because I think some people get really down on themselves and they don't find the joy. So I think that's really amazing. You said that you wrote a song about this as well?
Yeah. So in this period of time where my husband was on the road a lot, I wrote a song called I Am a Homeless Song. And it was, at the time, I was kind of between projects. I wasn't with a record label anymore, and I hadn't really started my next indie thing. And so I just started writing songs for the love of it, and in my mind, I called them the homeless songs. And so I wrote this song, which is called I Am a Homeless Song, and it's just kind of it's as if the song is talking to you, saying, I don't know where I'm going to land or where my home is, but just listen to me. So I eventually made it into an album.
I'd love to listen to this. Everybody, this is I Am a Homeless Song by Cherie Call.
mouth. I'm broken and I'm still a mess, but isn't that what love's about? You're gonna wonder how I know your story, and you'll discover when your mind gets blown. You're not alone. I am a homeless song. I am a homeless song. They try to pitch me to the famous singer, but I don't belong. And all I really need is for you to listen to me. And if you get to know me well, I'll let you sing along. I am a homeless song. You don't have to say that I'm your favorite. You don't even have to know my name. You don't have to try to make me famous. Just play me. Play me. I am a homeless song. I am a homeless song. They try to put me in a romance movie, but I don't belong. And all I really need is for you to listen to me. And if you get to know me well, I'll let you sing along with me. I am a homeless song. I am a homeless song. I am a homeless song. I am a homeless song.
Cherie, that was fun.
That was
I love
great.
that
Thank you.
one. Are all your songs kind of warm and happy? Or, I mean, a lot of songwriters, they've got some sad songs. And do you have anything like that in your
Yeah,
repertoire?
I have a lot of sad songs. If you are influenced at all by that much folk and country music, you're going
Yeah.
to write some
Yeah,
sad
that's
songs.
right.
Yeah.
You know, the joke that if you play a country song backwards, you're going to get your truck back and your girlfriend back and everything else. But I love sad songs. I feel like a lot of people listen to happy songs when they need to be cheered up, and I hate doing that. When I am sad, I want to listen to a sad song because it makes me feel like the song understands how I feel. And then after that, I can listen to happy songs again. So I think that sad songs are important. I think they help people. In the inspirational Christian religious world, I think that culture, there's this tendency to feel really uncomfortable with sadness. Everybody feels it, but you kind of, you feel a little bit out of balance or uneasy. And I think that sometimes because of that, we try to rush each other through it, which doesn't help. And an example of that is where this song came from. A little over 2 years ago, my sister passed away from kidney cancer.
Oh, no.
Sorry.
Yeah, it was really, really tragic. Not very old. She's not much older than I am. So
She was your only sister.
yes, she's my only sister. And at the time, she lived for about from her diagnosis, she lived for about 5 years, which was really miraculous that she lived that long because it was really quite advanced when they diagnosed it. But she went through every clinical trial, every experimental treatment, everything you can imagine to work through it and try to live just a little bit longer, just to see a little bit more of her children's lives and to be alive a little bit longer. And at the time, a person in her life mentioned to her, someday when you get to the other side, you're going to laugh at yourself for trying so hard to live. Because it'll be so much better. And my sister is really kind and good-natured. She knew the intent. She knew that the whole point of saying that. That she was trying to comfort her. But when she told it to me, I was not as mature, and I was really bothered. It really made me mad. I just thought,
How dare you?
Why are you telling her that? Have you seen how hard she's working to live? How could you laugh at that in any context? And then I kind of got these just existential ideas of doubt of like, well, what is this next life going to be like if, is she going to laugh about wishing that she could have traveled the world with her husband after they retired? Is it going to be hilarious to her that she didn't get to meet all of her grandkids? Like, is all of that going to be so funny? Like, are we going to become sociopaths in the next life? Like, that doesn't make any sense. And, I really kind of struggled with that. And, I love the idea that you can rest from all of your cares, but when you're a parent or, all of that, you just kind of wonder, how is that all going to work? And that's a huge conversation that we don't even have time for. But I don't know. When I was still feeling salty about all of that, I guess, I wrote this song about, I don't want to rush through all of that. I want to take the long way home. And I really miss my sister. I know that if I live as long as I want to, I'm not going to be able to see her for a really long time. But I know that she wishes that she could have lived longer. And that's what I want to take the long way home. That's kind of what this song is. I want to take the long way home.
Well, Cherie, we'd love for you to play it live for us here on Jam Chats. This is The Long Way by Cherie Call.
People say it's easier in heaven, so far away from all the cares of this fallen earth. None of the tears and worries touch you. They say it's better and everybody seems so sure. But I don't want to go there yet. There are too many highs and lows I'm just not ready to forget. I want to take the long way home, so keep your shortcuts and let me go. I ain't giving up without a fight. I already got the good life, and I'm gonna beg to stay. I'm taking the long way. And when you're looking down on your beloveds, they say when you see them crying, you just feel okay. 'Cause life is just a speck and it gets better. You'll laugh when you remember how you felt that way. Well, I think it's just a little too soon. I've still got some crying of my own to do. I want to take the long way home, so keep your shortcuts and let me go. I ain't giving up without a fight. I already got the good life, and I'm gonna beg to stay. I'm taking the long way. And I'm not ready for the ocean to be silly, or for the mountains to be nothing compared to the streets of solid gold. I don't want to rush my beating heart. I want to live until my worn out body is good and old. I want to take the long way home, so keep your shortcuts and let me go. I ain't giving up without a fight. I already got the good life, and I'm gonna beg to stay. I'm taking the long way.
That was beautiful, Cherie.
That was great.
Thank you so much for sharing that. Cherie, I love that idea that you want to fight for your life.
Yeah.
No, and I think about, I was just thinking as you were playing that song, I know you believe in God.
Yeah.
What does God want? Does he want us to fight for our life here, or does he want us not to care and just want to come back to his presence? How do you feel about that?
Well, I've thought a lot about that. I think we talk a lot about how important it is to endure to the end and that we're meant to have trials and all that kind of stuff. But I think that part of the reason that we live is to have joy. It goes back to that thing of having joy. And I think so much of that is about having gratitude. If you are constantly in a state of gratitude for all of the good things that are in your life, you are thanking God for that. He's given us all these things. And I think it's wonderful to believe in the afterlife. And I think it's important to believe in something that will be better than where we are someday, and that all the wrongs will be made right and everything else. But I feel like sometimes we skip this huge other piece of why we're here, and that is to be thankful and to have this experience of life. We're not supposed to rush through it. I think we're supposed to, if anything, put a magnifying glass to it and see all of these beautiful things. Maybe it isn't all a trial. Maybe it isn't at all. It isn't all enduring. Maybe it's not wrong to feel joy and to be thankful for just how much time you do have.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think a lot of people get almost angry with God because they think, oh, well, if God were there, then my, things would be perfect and there would be no sickness, or, there'd be no trials. But I like what you're saying, that it's through the journey and the trials and those things that we come to know God.
Yeah. So my sister, she went through this whole process when she was suffering from her illness. She went to this church meeting where they talked about how important it is to keep a journal of joy. And she was really angry about that at first, and she wasn't ready for it. But as time went by, she realized that was going to be the key to her having a good ending to her life. And she did keep a journal of all of these things that were good. And the first entry that she had all these surgeries and wasn't comfortable sleeping, but there was a night that she was able to comfortably sleep on her side again after a long time. And so she wrote in her journal, "I slept on my side." And after she wrote it down, she said that she felt this joy and warmth come all through her when she laid down on her side that she never had thought about before. In all the other times that she had laid down on her side, she hadn't realized just how awesome of a thing it is to lay down on your side. Yeah. And so there is kind of that contrast that happens when you go through hard things. You start to really notice these tiny things in your life that really are wonderful that you just kind of skip over every day.
Yeah, and coming from a side sleeper, I don't know how I would do it if I was on my back.
I know, me too.
I know, that's so sweet, though, that she felt that gratitude for that simple thing in her life. And I guess as I get older, the simple things in life are what makes me happy, We were out with it was on Sunday. I had this little moment. I don't know if you have these moments too, but I was out in the backyard and, here in the summer, it's the perfect temperature when the sun goes down. And it was a Sunday afternoon and my son had just said, "Hey, Dad, let's go throw the ball out in the backyard." So I'm throwing the ball and my wife is making a little barbecue. And so I got the smells of the barbecue and I'm throwing the baseball and the temperature would just hit that absolute perfect moment. And I thought to myself, I don't need anything else but this in my life, because these little tiny simple moments are what bring me joy. So I totally believe in that, just those simple pleasures and joys in life.
I know exactly what you're talking about. I can think of times where I've looked out the back window and seen all of my kids jumping on the trampoline and being happy. And it's just like, just keep it like this,
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, those are the moments that you live for as a parent, right? Is watching your kids be kids and do their thing. And I think that's really beautiful. So Cherie, we've kind of been talking about these big emotions and feelings. Do you have any songs left that you could play for us that are maybe a little more bright and happy or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to send us off on something kind of fun and happy before we say goodbye.
I will. So this is a song called Big Yellow Moon. And it's another one of those, this is actually on that same Homeless Songs album. It's another song that I wrote when I was kind of going bananas. My husband was on the road a lot and I was at home with little tiny kids and I kind of had a little bit of writer's block. And so I went and bought a ukulele and tried to learn how to play it and thought, maybe I'll write a song on this. So this is just a cute little song. And a lot of the songs on that album are from notebooks that that I wrote ideas in like 10 years before. So this was another one of these really old ideas that I kind of made into this new little ukulele song. So that's what I'll leave you with.
Do you remember where you were in your mind and in your head when you wrote this?
Yeah, like being a mom is, I love it. I'm not diminishing in any way, but I wanted to feel like also who I have always been before I was a mom. And I think that's kind of what I wanted to connect with that as much as I could. And so that's where I went back into these old notebooks and found some ideas. They were love songs and stuff and things like that. So I remembered when I wrote the idea down, walking home from some event with friends when I was in college, and I looked up and it was the most gigantic yellow moon that I had ever seen in my life. And so I just kind of wrote down the word big yellow moon. And then, 10 years later, I ended up pulling out this notebook and got my ukulele and wrote the song. So
I think this is the first for us on Jam Chats, a ukulele song. Right?
That's right. This is the very first. Well, we'd love to hear it live. Everybody, this is Big Yellow Moon by Cherie Call, live in the Jam Chat studio. You're listening to BYU Radio.
You can walk me home if you want to. It's not that far. Walk me home. Nights like these were never made for driving cars. We could count the sidewalk cracks or wish on Mars. Walk me home. Walk me home. There's a big yellow moon in the sky tonight, and it's just about to pass us by. And it's just the sort of night that was made for three, you and the big yellow moon and me. You can hold my hand if you want to while we walk home, or you can walk the other way if you'd rather be alone. But think of all the things that we will never know. Walk me home. Walk me home. There's a big yellow moon in the sky tonight, and it's just about to pass us by. And it's just the sort of night that was made for three, you and the big yellow moon and me. Tomorrow will keep whether or not we get any sleep. Tell me I'm right, the walking home was made for evenings just like tonight, 'cause it seems so right. There's a big yellow moon in the sky tonight, and it's just about to pass us by. And it's just the sort of night that was made for three, you and the big yellow moon and me. You and the big yellow moon. Oh, 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 oh. You, the moon, and me. You, the moon, and me.
Yeah, that was
There you go.
that was fun.
Yeah, it was super fun.
There's something, cute.
Something kind of cute about the ukulele,
That's right.
It's just like,
That's right.
actually it makes me want to go to Hawaii. That's what it makes me want to do. There's something carefree about that ukulele. That's a fun song. That's a great
Thanks.
song to end on this interview with you today.
After
Cherie.
all the hard things, it's just kind of peppy and and happy.
So
to end
Cherie,
with, so.
you've got a plethora of music. You've had a wonderful music career. What's next for you in your life?
Well, I am just constantly writing songs, and hopefully can get in the studio and do some more recording soon. I have some ideas that I They're not completely solidified yet, but that I'm excited about. I'm also still teaching songwriting, and my kids are super busy. They have a lot of stuff going on too. But you can see anything that you want to know about shows I have coming up or new releases. If you go to cherriecall.com, you can find, I think, all 10 of my albums on Spotify and other streaming sites, things like that.
We talked earlier about what's the measure of success. I'll just tell you what, I think you've made it, Cherie.
That's
I
right.
think you made it.
Thank you.
I'm pretty sure you should have backup dancers by now, right?
Yeah, really.
Yeah, I guess I could make it happen.
Well, we loved having you on the show today. Thank you so much for being on.
It's been such a pleasure.
It's been wonderful.
It's been a pleasure for me too. Thanks, guys.
You're welcome.
Everybody, thanks for listening. I'm Reimy.
And I'm CJ.
And I'm Cherie Call.
Have a good night.